here at KB Zone. If you hire and come to Egypt, make sure you look on Google Maps, make sure you are close to KB Zone, because this is the best spot for all your kiting equipment, for training, launching, always assisting, showers, toilets. Make sure you check it out. So this is how basically every day starts with our holiday here in Hurghada, leaving the hotel room, beautiful pools, walking. It takes a 5-minute walk to KGB Zone, which is the kite school, and just lovely vibes there. There's where you park the kites. It's a great idea to have the kites under roof, and when you don't use it, you can just park it. You can order meals, restaurant next door, KGB Zone. Here's the contact number. You can call, order your booking. This is the reception. All kinds of kite gear, quiver, from advanced boards to beginner boards. So you have a variety of options. The place has CCTV, new bars, different line length. Outside you can book from the restaurant and you have your meals, lapas outside, and nice chilling area. They've also got to pump up your kites, storerooms package, which is also protected with CCTV and get locked up every night. Have showers, changing rooms, storage for your board, wetsuit, harness, so it gets dry, go for lunch for a session, the areas you can kite in, and then you come back, take your kite from the storage and enjoy your session. They've also got a live meter of wind strength and temperature, and just a great chilling area as you see loved ones kiting. Let's get back into the session, starting with a nice jump, parking the kite to the right and then bringing it over to the left with the transition. With flat water it's really tricky to get your good edging. With the ocean it's really easy taking off the waves, but here it took me some time to work on my edge, and the wind was just right to put in a kite loop there. Kite looping is it's a bit tricky because I don't have enough wind. Wind strength is roughly 20 knots and I have 28-meter lines to get more height on my jumps. So you have to have better edge control, really work on that edge control, and then have a good takeoff to pull off a kite loop to be able to catch you. So I will put slow-mo, also my edging, then my looping. Also have a look at my bar. After my kite loop, you'll see me pushing out my bar and then pulling it back in. So you see the loop, push out the bar almost halfway and then pulling it back in. Just didn't have enough height. So what helps a lot is really having a good takeoff. So edging, curving as hard as you can without losing the edge, and then the last little bit just to really cut a little bit upwind for that last takeoff. So I try to put in the clips the takeoffs, and with a good takeoff you'll be able to pull it off to do a kite loop with 28-meter lines, flying a 9-meter Omega from Lacuna, and just rejoicing for having this great feeling of kite looping. Also just practicing the jumps with the edging on flat water, and this really helps me improving my edging and my jumping these flat water conditions. Really just to focus on digging in the heels, pulling in, looping the kite, and then just landing it so good. It really feels good. The wind here is winter time. It's a bit cooler, so it's slightly more dense than in summer. So this was roughly 20 knots. It wasn't like I needed a 17 meter, I'm on a 9 meter. So my idea here was to have a bit more strength with the 28-meter lines, to have more power out of my kite, to basically make my kite like a 11 meter, so it turns slower with the longer lines, but it does give me enough height and then hang time to do a kite loop finishing the kite loop and then catching me with a down loop. Just a really nice, also practicing some back roll just to improve the edging. So if you take off with a back roll, even just a slow back roll, it just really helps with your edging. And what I did also on the water was just trying to dig in my heels and improve my edging. It feels like my edging was very mediocre and I needed to really focus on edging properly. Trying the front roll with the camera in the hand, positioning it in a funny position. These flat water conditions just really gives you some confidence to try some new tricks. Here is my back roll kite loop. Really felt amazing. The wind was dying down a bit, so I couldn't do big jump kite loops. I was practicing on doing a back roll, and then on the back roll, this back roll just feels so good. Just really rejoicing. As soon as I'm caught away in the rotation of the back roll, I crank on my backhand to do the kite loop, and this gives me a perfect timing just to get around and then catch me and drive away. It's not big at all, and it just gives you the feeling in stronger winds what to expect. Doing some smooth double back rolls. Double back roll is a lot about edging the taking off and then just committing with your head, turning it, makes you to do the double rotation. With the front roll, I felt that not curving too hard, and as soon as I get in the air, to lean forward, look over and look up to the board, and that's how I get the inverted front rolls. Is just curving, flipping over, looking backwards to the board, lifting up the knees and trying to grab it, and then leaning onto the front hand makes the front roll really easy and stylish. You can mix up more things. The wind went a bit lower, so we pulled out the 17 meter when the wind got softer and ended the session with the 17 meter. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and then see you on the next video. Take care.